Hello and welcome to Kelford Labs. I'm Leah, this is Joel, and today we are diving into the marketing rangefinder as a framework to help you find your customers, cultivate interest, and really kind of deliver value.
The reason we developed the rangefinder is as an alternative or a substitute for the traditional marketing and sales funnel. The problem with the funnel is it implies both gravity and pressure. The idea that if we just put enough people in the top of the funnel, enough volume will come at the bottom of the funnel that will be able to support our business. But of course, this doesn't work. It doesn't work, and we can see that it doesn't work because famous people and famous brands go broke all the time. Popularity, fame, and attention are in fact a cost, not an asset. So the most important thing is we want to use that cost. We want to use what we have paid for in attention and fame as effectively as possible. We don't control the actions of other people. We control our own actions. And through those actions, we can both determine the distance at which a customer is to our business and how we can help them move one step closer to us based on what they need or want, not based on the attention we desire or the money we desperately need to get out of them.
So there are 4 distances to this kind of marketing rangefinder that you might find one of your ideal customers at. There's far away. They're out there. They don't really know about you. This seems to excite the most people in trying to find them. The next step to you is close. That's when they're in your orbit. They know about you. There's something here that interests them and they want to learn more. Then they move into here. That's when they're in the moment of a purchase. They're going through a contract negotiation with you or the very first stages of a project. And then the beautiful one of connected. This is where they've purchased. They've fallen in love. They have experienced the value that you uniquely deliver, and they can't wait to tell their friends, family, and network all about the beautiful things that you make possible. And then the cycle continues again. They tell new people they're far away and they start moving closer to you. So that's how all of this happens. Today, we're going to dig into FAR because, as I mentioned, it's the one that excites, but it also confounds the most of marketers and entrepreneurs out there. You know, there are customers out there who would love you if only they knew about you. Where on earth are they? Is what we tend to hear people yell. And quite frankly, Joel's been having a similar experience. So we're going to put him through the marketing rangefinder distance of FAR today. So Joel.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the feelings you've been having and what brings you to wanting to jump into a marketing distance of FAR today?
Yeah, I've been having an absolute ball on Threads.
Awesome.
Mostly talking about AI, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of history, a little bit of business and film and my other hobbies. But what I've been finding is that there are lots of people on Threads that I love to follow, that I'm learning from. And I've had a few posts recently get quite popular, certainly as relatively compared to my other posts. And that has struck me with the feeling of, there are more people out there who might be into the kind of thing I'm into. Mm-hmm. And while there may be some monetary incentive to move them into becoming closer and closer and closer to me, and maybe even one day becoming a customer, my interest right now is just, how do I get more people aware of the type of conversations I'm having such that they'd be interested in taking one step closer?
Oh, I love this. Okay, so we have the joy. We just want to build some structure for ourselves.
100%.
Okay. Well, you've come to the right place because I will protect joy till the end of time.
Perfect.
We're going to protect the joy in this one. So we're looking at the distance of FAR. So what I want you to do is write into the box. Mm-hmm. What are some of these other FAR spaces? So we know Threads is one for now.
Threads
in there. Great.
Yeah.
What are other spaces where you've experienced folks with similar enthusiasm, conversations, topics? Where are some other spaces that these are happening?
This is clearly also YouTube, is where I'm doing a lot of the learning I'm doing. Cool. It's where some of the people that I am following are also participating. And then this one's big. And in the context of protecting joy, I don't want to do it. But people are on TikTok.
Let's put an asterisk on that.
Okay.
Remember what the asterisk actually means. So what I'm seeing here is, interestingly, I would call 2 of these TikTok to a slightly lesser degree. But 2 of these feel a little more, can play in a bit of an asynchronous space. Thoughtful questions can be posed after having a hot second to think about things.
Yeah, I might even make it a bit more personal and say the people who use TikTok most, to me as someone who doesn't use it, seem like they are using it in substitution for almost all other media in their lives. Mm-hmm. And that might say great things about TikTok, but if I found that I was reading less, on YouTube less, frankly, contributing to threads less, and on TikTok more, I would think something bad has happened to me.
The joy would be sacrificed.
And so I don't think I need that in my life.
No. Okay. So we know some spaces for fire. The next thing we want to do is move over to our target.
Yeah.
The target here, and what I think will be a bit of a challenge for you, is ease. What we want to do when we talk about the target in a rangefinder is we're looking at what is the easiest thing someone can do to get merely one step closer to you. So they do not know Joel exists. They come across a Joel Kelford post on Threads and go, ooh, tickles my fancy. Give that a little like, participate in the conversation. What is making that easy for them to do? That's the focus you want to have.
Yeah. So
what comes to mind? A
couple things come to mind. Number one, when I find myself following people, so I see a thread come up in the algorithm. If I'm like, oh, that's really good or interesting, I might just click, tap like and move on. But if I get the feeling this person might have more stuff like that, I tap into their profile.
Okay.
And read their bio. And all of this is happening in seconds. And give a quick few scrolls just to go to, okay, this person doesn't have the most problematic viewpoints I've ever seen, or this wasn't a one-off post and they actually never talk about this sort of stuff recently. I want to make sure that this, if I follow, I'm going to get more content that is in this space.
Let's write that into the box. So the easiest thing that can be done, or easy things that can be done, is a quick tap into a profile.
Tap into profile. Yeah.
To see context.
To see context. That's okay. Yes.
What is the context? It's not. It is going to be a quick evaluation.
And I want.
But the easiest thing someone can do to closer is literally tapping a button in the moment, and it pops them directly over. And we want this to be kind of.
And it's. I love the way you're putting this. Is I want. Okay, so you see a thread, and you kind of dive for a second into that pool. And then you go, ooh, is there more water like this? And if you're shocked and go, oh no, it's colder here, or oh no, it's hotter here, it's less comfortable. Maybe I don't want to stay in this pool. That's
what the focus is here.
Yeah.
The focus here is on the easy.
Yeah. So the easiest thing someone can do is tap over to my profile and take a gander.
And I'd like to point out an interesting fact. You are not in charge of this.
No.
Threads has made that easy. In this case, YouTube does a similar thing. You can click in to see the full channel and get a little glimpse of things and how things are organized. So often the easiest thing is clearing the path.
It harder.
Don't make it harder. The cool thing about the ease, and that being our target, is that we are removing things.
Yeah.
It's rarely additive.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how we play in ease.
Okay.
So now we take all this enthusiasm for getting to do something, and we're going to move over to our third bucket, which is actions. And the action we take at the distance of far is an information share.
Right.
Not a convincing.
No. So you're at XYZ big box retailer that provides food samples. The far distance is you spotting the sign for the sample across the store, and it's saying something that makes you want to get one step closer.
I lock it and go, I want those cheesy puffs.
So my job here is not to try to sell you the thing at this distance. It is to try to reassure you that you're going to get what you expect when you arrive.
Exactly.
Okay. So the action I can take though is kind of related to that sign.
Exactly.
At that distance.
Yes. In past conversations, we've kind of chatted about the pinned post at the top and different ways things can go. Would you have any interest in, say, jazzing up your bio?
Yeah.
Is that an information share that you would want to? Or I would say, why haven't you yet?
I know
that feels a little accusatory.
No.
What's holding you back? What barriers in your way?
Lack of a superior alternative.
Okay.
It's not that I think the bio I have there is currently amazing. It's that it is not obvious to me what would improve it. It's obvious to me that it's not as good as it could be, but it is less clear what specifically I could do to improve it. I would love if this just had one powerful sentence that made people chuckle, smile, or go, ooh, that's interesting.
Okay.
I would love that.
Okay.
I don't have that now.
Well, then welcome to the box.
Yeah.
The information we want to have here is one that overlaps in values.
Yes.
So your first assignment in the action of information
What are the values of the people?
What are the values of you?
Of me.
Start with what we know. What is the value of your participation? What is the value of your perspective that excites you to contribute to this platform? And I think that's a good place for you to start. And I encourage you to write it down, just some bullet points for yourself of what is that value that you want to be delivering here that brings you joy. Because
of my overlapping set of interests and values, I have a capability to ask interesting questions that not like take questions, not like I'm just asking the questions guy. More like, oh, if this and this, then this interesting question. The current blow up about OpenAI that kicked off last weekend that potentially by the time you watch this is no longer news. It's because of my obsession with both business strategy, marketing, technology, AI, history, etc., that allowed me to ask a couple interesting questions that got me my most popular threads, most follows from a thread, all of that thing today. And I really enjoyed it too, because I did feel like I was able to peel back some layers of opacity by having a clearer perspective.
Into the box. That is Joel's value then that gets communicated. It's these context exploring questions. Context setting works great too, but context exploring questions.
Yeah. Context setting questions based on overlapping interests, knowledge. Like that
feels right for you.
It does feel right to me, but I will say, and this is, part of the writer in me going, well, that's a bad bio.
That's not your bio. Right. Jumping ahead here. That's not the bio. Again, we're building pieces. The outcome of this will be a bio. So that's your value.
Yep.
Then what we are looking for is a bit of research, a little digging, a little exploration on your part of those who are currently following you. Yep. Going in and getting a sense of what their values are and what interests they're bringing to the table and how they're posing questions, digging into conversations, what topics they're jumping on, so that we get a sense of how is that value coming to play, so that then we can start overlapping those two things. And that's where an interesting bio is going to come from. Yeah. Because you're going to be able to write something that is not exclusively about you, but that acknowledges interests and overlapping value with those who already follow you, so that others, when they see what Joel's all about, can get a distillation of who this guy is, what this context and context setting questions are, as already evaluated and validated by those who choose to follow you and receive value from that.
So what is my action from here then?
So your action from here is 3 things.
Okay.
You have no more than 3 activities that I will send you out to do. But the actions we take from this is now saying, okay, what do I want to go do? And the first thing to go do is go take a look at the people who follow you now and get a sense for who these folks are, what they're up to. And not in a reconnaissance kind of way, but in a get to know the people you're having conversations with, and hopefully find some delightful ones that you want to participate in and just have a bit more fun. Step 2 is then to go back and actually look at your value and their value, the lessons you've learned, and try and write that first draft.
Okay.
The first
draft of bio?
Of a bio that is, let's be honest, the dream bio.
Yep.
Just write the dream bio. What do you wish were true and you would love if it would be?
Yes.
Do not pigeonhole yourself into accuracy for today. Yeah. Because again,
because I'm not going to post this.
You're not posting this anywhere. Okay. You're going to write yourself a draft of your dream bio.
Okay, can I guess what the third step is? Is it now I write content that would make that bio true? Okay, I like this.
Because now we get to actually run the experiment.
Yeah.
If you enjoy
the process, I hate writing that content, or now it doesn't feel
it's not
right. Right.
Without having over invested into anything and without sacrificing any of the enjoyment you have on the platform to begin with.
Yeah. I like that. So that's interesting because we started at I like threads, how more threads.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to I now have a small research project along with actual content ideas now that I've started to generate that will help me get one step closer to the customer such that they want to get one step closer versus throwing promotions out into the world and hoping enough.
Versus standing there with a little sparkler being like, got fun things happening here.
Or depending on something completely outside of one's control, like virality or the algorithm.
Exactly.
Well, I hope this was as useful for you as it was for me. As I mentioned before, the worksheet for this exercise, for the distance of far from the marketing rangefinder, that'll be linked to in the description for this video. There are 3 other distances, and hopefully we'll get to those in upcoming videos. But if you're interested in following along and working through the marketing rangefinder with us, go to kelfordinc.com/events and sign up for a workshop. See you soon.